What is 15% of 60? Create a model to prove your answer. So we know that 15% can be rewritten as 15 out of 100. And if we want of 60, that means we're going to multiply by 60. 100 and 60 both have a factor of 10 in common. And 6 times 15 is 90. But then we have 10 times 1 on the bottom, which is 10. And 90 divided by 10 is 9. So 15% of 60 is 9. A model that you could use to represent this is the double number line, where 100% would be 60. 50% would be 30. 25% would be 15. Then we would have to break it up by 5s in that section. So we'd have 5, 10, 15, 20. And so 5, 10, 15. When you break 15 up into 5 sections, each one would be 3. So 3, 6, 9. 15 would match up with 9. Number 2 says, if 40% of a number is 56, what is the original number? So 40% rewritten as a fraction is 40 out of 100, or 4 out of 10. You can make it even smaller and go to 2/5. It's saying that 2/5 of some number is equal to 56. We can work backwards by dividing to solve for this unknown. When we divide, we can flip that fraction and multiply, because the 2's will divide out and the 5's will divide out, and we'll just be left with that unknown amount. And then 56 and 2 have a factor of 2 because they are both even. And that'll give us 28. So 28 times 5 will be our answer. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 4 more makes 140. Number 3 says, in a 10 by 10 grid that represents 800, one square represents blank. So if there are 100 squares and we want it to be representing 800, each of these squares needs to represent 8. Each of those squares will be worth 8. Use the grid below to represent 17% and 83% of 800. So we're filling in 17 boxes, but each one is going to be worth 8. Let me use a better color here. Okay, so 10 across is 8 sets of 10, which would be 80. And then we have 7 more sets of 8. 8 times 7 is 56. So total for this one would be 136. On this one, we have 8 in every box also. So 10 sets of 8 is 80 for this row, the next row, and so on. Then we have 3 sets of 8 at the bottom, which is 24. So however much that adds up to is going to be our answer. We can also think of it as each of those represent 8, and there are 83 shaded in. So 83 multiplied by 8 will tell us our answer also. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 2 more makes 68. So 684. No, that's wrong. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 2 more makes 66, not 68. Don't forget to write your name on your paper and anything that you weren't able to fit on your worksheet needs to be stapled to your page.